Bill Gates once said, "It's not your mistake to be born poor, but it is definitely your mistake to die poor." Ever wondered how celebs got to the level of success that they have today? Where they started from? While it's true that some celebrities and entrepreneurs were just born with a silver spoon in their mouth, most of them are self-made. These people started from nothing and worked their way up, and each and every one of them has their own recipe for success. Reaching such great heights in life and becoming successful is hard, especially when you have no one at your back. Today, we have for you a list of 10 such celebrities who were homeless at one point in their lives, but paved the way of success and are millionaires today. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Daniel Craig, the James Bond. Bond is a well-known and iconic figure in movie history. He's currently worth an estimate of $65 million. When he was a young kid, Craig had a huge amount of responsibility on his shoulders because his parents were divorced and he had an older sister to take care of. He had been acting in school plays since the age of 6 and was introduced to serious acting plays with his mother at the Everyman Theatre in Liverpool. He moved to London and joined the National Youth Theatre to pursue his dream of becoming an actor. However, that didn't come free. He had to work part-time at restaurants to finance his training at drama school. It is hard to imagine that the 007 famous actor was once working part-time, but it is the reality. Number 2. Halle Berry, American actress and a former fashion model. American actress and model Halle Berry is now the only woman to have won an Oscar in a leading role for the year of 2015. It may come as a surprise to many people that she used to live in a homeless shelter in her early 20s, like most poor American kids. Her journey from being homeless to winning an Oscar was not a bed of roses. She had to survive failed marriages, tough relationships, and even a suicide attempt. But she never gave up and managed to not only survive, but thrive. She is truly an inspiration. Number 3. Jennifer Lopez, the American multi-talent. This 45-year-old multi-talent is a renowned singer, dancer, producer, and designer. Her estimated net worth is about $300 million. Her story is a bookcase. When her mother was not supportive of Jennifer's dream to be a dancer, she moved out at the age of 18. During those days, she had to make do by sleeping on the sofa of her dance studio. Hard to believe, right? Number 4. Charlie Chaplin, entertainer of the era. Charlie had a horrible childhood surrounded by his unstable parents. His mother was admitted to a mental asylum while his father was a cruel man. When things only continued to change for the worse, the Society of the Prevention of Cruelty to Children had to intervene. When he studied at the Central London District Schools for Paupers, he chose his performance style and went on to become one of the most legendary artists of all time. He managed to win the hearts of people all over the world with his actions. Children who have had a traumatic or severe childhood tend to outshine others because they have a knack for overcoming hardships. What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Number 5. Kelly Clarkson, the first American Idol. Speaking of what doesn't kill you, you may remember the first ever American Idol Kelly Clarkson by her hit song, Stronger. She struggled a great deal after she first moved to LA from Texas, and at one point in her life, she was sleeping on the streets. She took on several jobs, but the real story of her fame and success started when she landed upon the American Idol. She blew America away with her powerful voice, and in addition to being a singer and songwriter, she also became an accomplished author. Some of her best-selling albums are Breakaway, Stronger, My December, Thankful, and Meaning of Life. Number 6. Ella Fitzgerald, Queen of Jazz Music. Ella ran away from her abusive stepfather at a young age and stayed homeless before she worked with the mafia. Yes, you heard that right. Ella did many odd jobs, not all of them legal. She completely reformed her life later on and went on to win 13 Grammy Awards and even received medals from Presidents Reagan and George H.W. Bush. She is popularly known as the Queen of Jazz, and America honored her by making her picture the face of one of the U.S. postal stamps after her death. Number 7. Steve Jobs, redefining Apple. Steve Jobs could not help being born to poor parents, but he did not accept that as his fate. He voluntarily dropped out from college as he did not want his parents to spend money on his expensive education. He assembled Coke bottles to manage money for food. He struggled to get by and had to do things like staying at his friends' dorms and walking 7 miles to get free food from a nearby temple. Today, the world knows Steve Jobs without an introduction. He is a brand and the face of Apple. He is living proof that you can achieve unimaginable amounts of success regardless of the circumstances that you were born in, and he lays special emphasis on the importance of working smarter instead of harder in his advice to youth. Number 8. Hilary Swank, Oscar-winning actor. Hilary Swank is one of the leading ladies in showbiz, and she has won 2 Oscars just by the young age of 30. Her net worth is approximately $40 million. Her beginning was very humble. She was a child born to a 15-year-old mother. She and her mother lived in a car and also slept out on an air mattress on the floor of an empty house for sale for some time. Number 9. Jim Carrey, great Hollywood comedian. Our Hollywood comedian Jim Carrey shares a similar story. After his father lost his job, him and his family lived in a VW van parked on the street, and then eventually moved into a tent at his sister's lawn. During those tough times, Jim Carrey picked up an incredible sense of humor, which his father encouraged. His father also helped him launch his first comedy show. During those days, Jim Carrey wrote himself a check worth $1 million and carried it with him everywhere. Today, Jim Carrey owns a Boeing 707 and multiple homes worth millions. What are your thoughts about the stories of these self-made celebrities? Did they inspire you? Are there any others that you would have added to today's list? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you again in the next video.